So now we are going to discuss some NumPy attributes that you can fetch from your NumPy. So here you can see I have just created a array called A, which has two lists to it. So it has 2 rows and 3 columns. That is the shape of array. Is The shape is one of the attribute. As I have already told you that there are several ways or several commands that can be used to reshape the array. But here I have given you an example on that how to reshape the array using the reshape function. So another method which you can use to reshape the n-dimensional array is can be a dot shape, which basically gives you the dimension of array, and I am just passing a tuple which contains some integers which also describes the dimension of array as the input. So here you can see I have reshaped an array with the dimension 3, 2. So you can see the reshaped array is shown here, and I am also mentioned that how to reshape the array using the reshape function using this command. So here I am using a shape function, whereas here I am using the reshape function. So for resizing the array. So you can see outputs are same for both functions. So now you can see if you can say you will also be able to create a sequence of values and then created as an array using the range function. So I have given a range of 24. So it is going to give me a sequence of values starting from 0 to 24. So, but the downside to use the range function is you would not be able to see what are the values that are there under the created range. It is just going to return the range of values like 0 to 24 as an output when you try to print the R. So the range function is often used when you are dealing with control structures, and if you want to iterate a value with a given sequence of values using range, in that case range will be very helpful. But to create a sequence of values we can use a function called arrange from the NumPy library. So here you can see an array of evenly spaced numbers. For that I have used arrange. So it is called as a range because from NumPy it is going to create an array based on the sequence of values that you have given as an input, but it is going to return an array. That is why the function name itself is a range. So the arrange function syntax, the start value, stop value, and then the incremental value. So it is basically takes in 3 arguments. I have just given only one argument. You can see here. So by default it is going to take that value as a stop value, and if you are not given any start value it is going to start from 0. And by default it is going to increment the value, but number 1 I have given 24 here, but you would have got till 23. That describes that stock value whatever I have given here, it will return 1 minus the value, that is 23. So here I am providing 24, but it is giving 23. So if you check the dimension by using the ndim command, ndim property, then you are having the value 1 here. Now next we are having, suppose if you can see here, this is the original array and I am just wrapping the array as a given 6 as the first argument. It is going to keep all the values into 6 vectors, and each vector will have the size 4. One under each vector you will have values in 4 rows, and with single column from 0 to 3 is a vector, and also it has a dimension 4 cross 1, and the second vector also has 4 values to it in a single column. So similarly in other vectors you can see here. So you can see I have given the first dimension as number of vectors it should have, or under each vector what is the size, that is 4. One that represents the number of rows and the number of columns that you are going to use to reshape the array. So this is how we can reshape the array using the reshape function. So now let's perform some arithmetic operations on NumPy arrays. So I have created two arrays here, and the elements inside the x and y arrays are of float 64, and you can perform some of the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So let us take an example. So using these values, when you print these values, you will get these values as. So now there are two methods for adding these two arrays. The first is you can directly write just print x plus y, and the second method is just you need to provide parameters within the add function. So you can write np.add, and in brackets you have to write x comma y, and the results for both will be same. Same way you can perform subtraction. For that you need to write x minus y, otherwise you need to write the function name, that is subtract. Similarly you can perform multiplication by the multiply sign, that is asterisk, or you can write the multiply and x comma y. So simply you can get the values. So now if you want to get the dot product of two arrays, then you can use the function called dot x dot of y is going to give you the dot product of two arrays x and y, and you can use the dot function either by applying it on one array or then using it on the other array, or you can just use np dot dot, and inside the function you can just give the two desired arrays that needs to be multiplied, that values to be multiplied. And similarly you can perform the divide operation between two arrays, that is x and y, by using the slash operator or by using the divide function. So here from the NumPy libraries, so all of the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division using the required commands is going to do the element wise operation between two arrays. So in last you can see these three commands that I have tried, which basically first used to compute sum of all the elements. Second is it will compute all the sum of each column, and the last one is sum of each row. It will show you